Hey everyone, Horror Hottie here. Today I decided to rank every film in the Rocky franchise in honor of Creed 3 being released this month. I have undergone the task of pitting every single one against each other in this ranking. Obviously, spoilers are ahead, so proceed with caution. All timestamps will be included, so if there's a film you don't want spoiled, simply skip ahead to the next film in the lineup. For reference, I use a 5-point rating system. Number 9, Rocky 5, 1 star. I loved the scene of Tommy describing how he was introduced to fighting via his abusive family dynamic and how every time he faces an opponent, all he sees is his father. It recontextualizes the earlier scene of his first fight in front of Rocky, going overboard and not holding back at all. It was interesting seeing Rocky in a street fight, and I hate that this series always does flashbacks. Maybe I'll take you upstairs and violate you like a parking meter? What? Also, I don't think I've mentioned this, but I hate Polly. I have since the beginning and in every film. This includes misogyny, unfortunately. I don't really care for the B-plot around Rocky's kid. Why are they in like elementary school or middle school at the latest and she's checking out his ass? Heteros are so weird, sexualizing children and forcing adult relationships on them. I, as well as most of the audience, I'm sure, don't want to see a kid, a literal kid underage, keep getting beat up. It's one thing to watch two trained adult fighters consensually enter the ring knowing the consequences, but bullies continuing to corner this kid is just oppressing. The Santa costume design here was horrible. The underling ended up being such a bitch. This whole film ended up being a clusterfuck. Number 8, Rocky Balboa, 1 star. It's cool that Rocky invested in a restaurant. Rocky 2 is known for having the best and most iconic soundtrack in the series, but this one has Somebody Told Me by The Killers, so who's really winning? I always admired how good Rocky is with animals and reading them. Cats and dogs are great judges of character too. This is a neutral point, but I felt like this film glamorized Rocky the most out of all of them. No, not Adrian dying. Damn, the lighting can be atrocious at times, extremely overexposed. And I hate the Angie character. Number 7, Creed 2, 1.5 stars. Once again, I love this couple more than Rocky and Adrian. Such a huge step up. It's sweet how Rocky still visits his deceased wife's grave though. This has a good premise of legacy and avenge. I would straight up say no if my partner proposed where we live. Honestly, I'm not one for making a big spectacle out of asking someone to marry you, because it puts pressure on them to say yes, but in this case, I think it would have been more fitting for him to propose on stage right after claiming the title. This couple is so stupid for acting surprised when their unprotected sex resulted in pregnancy. What did you think was gonna happen? I don't know why this dude is acting like his baby potentially having hearing loss is a death sentence. His fiancée literally has it, and he sees her as a human being. Number 6, Rocky, 3 stars. All the cute puppies in the window, yes. I love that Rocky clearly has a love for animals. Me too. I like that the titular character actually lost. He was clearly the inferior competitor, and a happy ending doesn't make sense for every story. Seeing the fish kept in such a small tank or bowl really made me sad, but to be fair, I don't even know if information for appropriate tank sizes for fish was available in the 70s. This was honestly kind of uncomfortable to watch at times. I would be cautious entering a man's home alone too. I think any woman with half-decent intuition would. Rocky kept trying to lure his date further into his house and sizing her up, even getting up and stopping her from leaving. It felt like coercion. It's your first date, it's normal to not want to kiss right away. I don't get why Rocky was so nonchalant and ungrateful to receive a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He did drink eggs at one point. Okay, weird. As a boxing film, I was expecting more boxing. Number 5, Rocky 2, 4 stars. I love the soundtrack here, it's very iconic. I like that they showed the surgery and healing process after fights. Signing your first autograph is a momentous occasion. The thing I like about this series is the blunt humor. A standout was when Rocky confused condominiums for condoms. Extra points for the wedding scene. I love that the dog returns here. And I love how domestic this is. I thought the recap in the beginning was unnecessary. I can't believe it was suggested to Rocky that he should beat his wife. He barely had a reaction to it. I thought the feud between these two grown men was so childish, especially on Apollo's end. The ending fight was so trash, barely any defending, Rocky was just eating punches for no reason. His opponent literally did a dramatic wind-up and the punch still landed. Number 4, Rocky 4, 4 stars. I love Apollo's herd of dogs. I'm happy Rocky and Apollo's relationship got more development. That rising stage is so cool. This made boxing camp. The burlesque dancers were a standout. I like how this showed the serious consequences of boxing. The best part of this was the difference and parallels in the training montages between the two fighters. It was interesting seeing their different styles. I'm dead at them adding flashbacks to achieve the 90-minute minimum runtime. I'm so sick of the flashbacks. They were also in the middle of the film, which was extremely unnecessary. Number 3, Rocky 3, 4 stars. I like that Rocky and his family got on magazine covers. I think the best thing they could have done here was have the opponent attack the most vital person to Rocky during his fights, his instructor. I think it might have been a step too far to have the opponent straight up murder him, but okay. This way Rocky couldn't focus on the fight and wouldn't have the support he normally does. He wouldn't have lost otherwise. I like that this focused way more on boxing and was way more evenly spread. I really like how Apollo transformed into an ally and trainer here. A good twist on their dynamic. Enemies to lovers? And oh, Apollo in that crop top. Any man looks 10 times better in a cropped shirt. And damn, they did not need a flashback at the start of every damn sequel. How stupid are you to get in a street fight with the world champ? What was up with that ridiculous charity fight? The big guy should have been thrown out for his actions. Fighting the ref and security should have resulted in an immediate forfeit of the match. Throwing people into a crowd, including women and children, Rocky's coach tells someone to turn off the iconic music from the second film. What? I don't like hearing the phrase, beat you like a dog. At one point, Paulie says, "You can't train him like a colored fighter?" What do you mean by that? Why even bring this dude along? His stupid ass was just bringing the mood down the whole time. Number 2, Creed, 4 stars. I thought the protagonist being in the ring one shot and at his office job the next was excellent juxtaposition. This has been the most real entry in the series, and I greatly applaud them for that. The series has been glamorizing boxing more than showing the downside, so I appreciate it when they do add it in. I really liked the editing here. I'm glad Paulie is dead in this one. He sucks so bad. Literally my least favorite character. I really preferred the romance here as opposed to Rocky and Adrian. Their love story was very creepy. It was endearing how the bikers pumped Creed up when he was training to encourage him. Other than the fights with the Russian performer that was very camp, this has the best intro to a fight. One thing I really love about the Rocky series is that it's not afraid to let the protagonist fail. If we know the main characters are going to win every time, there are no stakes. And this goes for all sports media. Fuck the infidelity plotline. Shit, if Apollo was gonna cheat with anyone, I'd assume it'd be Rocky. They had a good enemies to lovers arc. I still wouldn't have been fine with it if it was cheating, though. It was sad how Rocky's kid isn't even in his life anymore. Number 1, Creed 3, 4.5 stars. It's an impressive directorial debut by Michael B. Jordan. The thing that impressed me the most with this was that insane camera work. If real boxing was framed half as good as this one, much more people would tune in. Obviously, I know it can't reach the same level as these fights and are highly coordinated, and the camera person is often right behind a fighter inside the ring. This is the first time in the Rocky series that the camera has been able to accurately pick up the true speed of some of these competitors. Truly impressive. I liked how Adonis's girl was able to communicate with him while on stage. I loved when Amara punched her bully in the face. You go, girl. I love all the small details they included to show how the Creed household was made accessible. When a doorbell rings, the house is rigged to flash with LED lights as well. And when Amara is watching her father's fights, she has the caption on in order to know what the commentators are saying. Once again, I love whenever these films show real consequences to stepping in the ring. Not even half of them do this, but the ones that do, I appreciate way more. I cried when the mother died because of how she talked to her son when she was going. I don't know why there was an argument about Amara knowing how to fight. Excuse me? All young girls should know how to fight. They should be taught at least the basics. Personally, I would not be working if my partner was stupidly rich. I'm sure she does it for personal fulfillment and fame. Now I know some people like when a fierce competitor is a total asshole and breaks the rules, does low blows, doesn't bother guarding, etc. But I really hate it. It's so ignorant to me. As someone who was in a group home as a child, this film brought up a lot of painful memories. I also had letters from prison kept from me, except for my mother instead of a friend. Do not do this. Kids deserve to have an understanding of their loved ones who have been incarcerated. What do you think of my list? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you want to read my full reviews, check out my Letterboxd list linked. I'm also interested in your rankings, so be sure to list them, or even just your favorite and why you like it. Next week, I'll be ranking every Scream/Ghostface film, as 6 is coming out in a few days. Leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell for more rankings as well as other content. If you'd like to support my content financially, please consider becoming a patron. I have tiers starting as low as $2 a month. Check out the link in the description for more info on exclusive perks. Until next time, mwah.